Right, let's get moving. Let's get moving. Hello, everyone, and welcome over to the season 2 announcement presentation. And I, Ruben Gonzalez, will be joining Jerry Chen and Leland Hill, who will be there to voice their opinions on the plans that I'm about to show. And we all had our first ever season with season 1, with Kendrick Meeks taking the victory for his championship and as well for the Hill Mix Racing team. So that was a magical moment, what we saw back at race 12 at Older Club in California. But let's get moving on to season 2, and let's see how the plans will be for season 2 and for the future ahead. Let's move on to the next slide.
Yeah,
You can
we
see the
can't
slide.
see you when you move on to the next slide.
Wait, can you see it now? Still?
No,
Oh,
we're only on slide 1. I don't think the presentation is being screen recorded. You're only screen recording like the
hold on a second. Let me go back. I do apologize.
yeah. Now we can see your screen moving, but when you go to
Okay,
presentation mode, we can't.
that's
Yeah.
weird. That's weird.
All
Hold on.
right, try to go up to the next slide.
Is it working now?
No, we're not seeing the next slide.
Let's do it. Let's do it from.
And now it's working. Now it's
Let's
working.
do it
Now it's
from there.
working.
Let's do it from there. We're not
Yeah.
gonna go to the main slide. I thought it's gonna work from there. Let's just move on from there.
Right.
Right.
That should hopefully be
Actually,
enough.
let me. Yeah, I think it looks slightly better. It's not perfect as of the slide, but I believe you can still see it.
Don't mind me in the background. I'm just trying to clear some space because there's an add-on for a thing I want to get that's like 8 gigabytes. So I need to make sure that I can keep that amount of space free.
No problem. No problem.
Plus, trying to install Manx 18 and car sets for that is eating into the space quite a bit.
Ah, that must have been hard then. At least to run a computer. We can wait a bit whilst you finish.
My computer's storage is bad. It's only got 111 gigabytes of storage.
I mean, if you're on a laptop, that will.
Yeah, I love this system.
All right, yeah, that's what I was about to go through the rating system. So there are possible changes that I'm planning for the rating system. That all drivers of the season will start at all 50. So 50 of aggression, consistency, and pit crew, etc. So they all start 50 points, and any driver in teams that finished in the top 3 last season will receive an extra points boost. That would last for the whole of the season.
Wait, so if Walker finished top 3, does that mean my entire team, all 4 cars, get a point boost?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's more of a draft, and I can improve it to make it more, to clarify a bit more. But yeah, I've been thinking of the teams should definitely get a points boost as well as for the driver. So yeah, any of the drivers that are in the team would be guaranteed at least a points boost as well. Maybe I can extend it to maybe add a couple more for a driver.
Yeah,
and then
2 for the driver,
1
1 for the team.
1 point for team, yeah. 2 for driver, 1 point for team, yeah. I'm thinking something like that just to better, the system, the plans ahead of it. So, but yeah, well, I'll definitely look into that as we go along. So, we're moving on to the last part of the slide. Is after each race, this was an idea that just came into my head, that anyone who finishes in the top 10 will also receive a points boost, but that'll only be for the next race. However, if there's any driver that have finished in the top 10 in one race but doesn't take part in the next race for any reason, such as a race ban, or if it's part of a part-time ride that doesn't require to race the next race, then the point boost will be given to any of the drivers that have finished the highest outside of the top 10. So I guess Jerryton has voiced his opinion just briefly about the idea, and he said he quite liked it. I don't know what Leland Hill's up to. Of course, he's a bit busy. We might as well just go through the slide, and then maybe we'll get Leland Hill to speak on his opinions off air. So that will leave me and Jerry Chen only ones around. So let's move on to the next slide.
I'm here. I'm watching.
Right. So, the next slide will be the introduction of Discord group moderators. Yeah, life is hard for me to run a group, so I just thought I'd start relieving some of the duties myself. So I'll be willing to give a moderator role to any of the trusted members out there. And when I do give any of you guys a moderator role, the moderator will be responsible for the following duties, such as banning and kicking members from the Discord group, deleting other members' messages from the Discord chat when necessarily and with good reason, and they will also have the duty of managing the voice channels category, including the commentary box. So they're also responsible, like me, of filling out permissions of who gets to be in the commentary box, who gets to not be in the commentary box, etc., and so on.
That's actually, yeah, I think that's useful. I'd love to be one, but
Yeah,
just putting it out.
of course, yeah. I'll give them out. There might be a limitation to how many moderators I will allow, but I will definitely come to a decision later on. But yeah, this is interesting. At least a thought from myself. So I guess we shall move on to the next slide, which is some more duties and responsibilities I'll be relieving myself from, which is mainly to do with being responsible with doing the point standings and recording the stats. I have seen Cam Wright doing a lot of his stats throughout the season, aside with me as well. That I've started doing the point standings.
I think he'd be a good candidate for that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's definitely the only one who can definitely get the hang of doing the stats. And of course, as long as I give him some tips of what there is more there he needs to do to, to help create, amazing statistics that can, bring lots of history to the series. Because of course, we can't have, we don't know history of the series without any statistics, which is why, it's good to record them as soon as we can per race. And I think Cam Wright is definitely the right person for this. So, yeah. If Cam Wright is watching this, then feel free to get in touch if you're interested in taking part. I know I've sent you a message earlier giving you my announcement privately. I didn't want to do it publicly until now. But, we can talk whenever you're free to do so. Right, enough of my chit-chat too much. The next one will be, in the slide, is that I will still be responsible of announcing, the qualifying and race results at the end of every race. So after I do that, Cam Wright it'll be up to Cam Wright to do the stats for us if he wants to do so, if he's free to do so. Right, we'll move on to the next slide, which is changes of homologation. Yes, there has been, some gossip going along in, the paddock and also on, especially with the news of Cadillac coming into the sport. So yeah, following several test appearances of the Cadillac and of the intention to join the grid, I've decided to personally definitely approve Cadillac for homologation. So of course,
There's also a bit of news apparently.
Yes, go ahead, Galen Hill.
It was announced earlier that Ethan Mangaloli will not be returning to the series.
Oh,
he was scheduled to start for TD Autosports next season, but earlier today, actually, out of a shocking announcement, he will not be returning to the grid.
Though Ethan Mangaloli announced a shock retirement after just one season with the series, so I guess that's him, I suppose. Good luck for him for the future ahead. We will miss Ethan Mangaloli from next season. So, anyway, enough of the shock announcement. We shall continue. We should carry on with this slide. So yeah, so Cadillac will be joining other templates, other car templates available for the series from next season, joining the likes of the Toyota Camry, Chevrolet SS, Dodge Charger, Mercedes BClass, the brand new series we'll be talking about in a moment, Honda Accord, and BMW M5. So these are the templates available for anyone who wants to paint their schemes for next season. move on to the brand new Mercedes B-Class. Will be joining in alongside the Cadillac next season. So so yeah, the Mercedes B-Class, or I think based on the looks on the model, will be joining in. For those
It's a
who
Ford
interested,
Fusion.
yeah,
I
for
think it's
yeah,
a Mercedes.
I
Ford Fusion.
I was just about to mention that for anyone who wants to run a scheme on, yeah, they must download the scheme through a Ford template, which is based on a Ford Fusion template. So just to give you a nod, I'll definitely get some more information throughout the Discord channels of the NR3 templates. So moving on to the next one. It's part 3 of the homologation. So there are plans currently to replace the Chevrolet SS with the new Camaro in the future. This was originally intended for season 2, but based on what I've heard from the team's plans of that they want to use the Chevrolet SS, I think to avoid any hesitation and burden of having to redo the whole schemes all over again to replace replace the Chevrolet SS with the Camaro, I've decided to give it a push of the plans for season 3. So this season 2 could be the last season of the outdated Chevrolet SS before we transfer to the Camaro. Guess no opinion on that one, I guess. So
I'm fully in favor of that.
yeah, I know. I have had opinions before I made this presentation that although my plans to replace the Chevrolet SS are good, but they say it's a bit too late at this time based on the team's
Not
plans.
that,
It should be replaced, but it's just announced way too late for it to be S2.
Yeah,
But for sure, season 3 we should replace the S with the Camaro.
yeah, but I'll definitely give everyone a reminder about the plans just so that they're aware of what's going on if they need to change anything from next season 3. Right, we have the provisional F2 calendar as we reveal for the very first time, and unfortunately, and I'm struggling to see the whole slide. There it is. This is the provisional S2 calendar by means of a typo I've just had. But hold on, sorry about that. There you go. This is the whole of this season 2 calendar that I'm planning to run in order from race 1 Daytona, Talladega, and we'll be seeing 2 new tracks coming in with the likes of Darlington, Kentucky. So good news for Kentucky, and we'll be heading to Martinsville for race 5, Indianapolis, so race 6, and then the next 3 races will be going to Chicago, and we'll be going to Canada for the very first time at Mosport or Canadian Tire Motorsport. Then we'll be traveling off seas from then to Motegi, Japan, a first ever race in Australia at the Calder Park Thunderdome Oval, and heading off to Europe for Germany Lasses-Ring before heading back to the USA for Atlanta, another brand new addition to the calendar, and Nashville before moving to Texas and Las Vegas, and then the final race at Auto Club. Now there are of course a couple of omissions from the Season 1 calendar. Unfortunately, we'll have to say goodbye to Watkins Glen and Charlotte.
Aww.
Unfortunately. But speaking of the former Watkins Glen, there is a potential replacement coming up soon, which hopefully we can hopefully see happen from season 3, which we'll see on the next slide. A potential street race could be planned for New York. So I found.
Oh hell yeah! Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just discovered an NR 2003 track online that I downloaded of the streets of New York, which I thought would be much better, race to go for, and in aside from Watkins Glen instead of Watkins Glen. So yeah, I'm currently testing at the moment to make sure that we want to see a lot of good racing there, such as pathing opportunities and so on. It's a bit of a tight track, but of course, when I tested it, there's not been many issues with yellow flags and cars causing collisions and crashes and such. So yeah, I'm still testing at the moment to make sure that there's good racing going along. So yeah, this is definitely on the plans for hopefully season 3. Don't know what Leland Hill's opinion on this one.
I'm in support of it. I think it could work.
Yeah, it's just a thought, based on what we saw Watkins Glen, it was just really boring. I just thought this would be a much better race to go for. So instead of Watkins Glen, right, move on to the next slide. We have the future of second drivers. Yes, we are seeing some increase of demand of members adding the second drivers to the series, and as well as at the same time, some more members coming in and making their debuts from the series and so on. But
oh my god, Konica Minolta isn't a driver; it's just a sponsor.
Who?
You listed me as drivers affected with Konica Minolta as a second driver. Nah, that's just my sponsor, man.
Oh, Konica Minolta. Oh, I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
I did not get that. Oh well, we'll remove that from the drivers affected list. We should carry on from there. But yeah, so I've been thinking, considering the increased popularity of the series, there will of course be a time where I have to set a limit on the number of drivers I will allow in the series. So this is what my plan has come up with, in case if it does happen, or if I do need to have a limit. So there will be between 36 to 40 full-time drivers I'm planning to allow, and as for part-time drivers, if they like to take part, I can allow up to 3 to 7 part-time drivers, minus my typo I just had. So yeah, so if the limit has been reached, I'll be looking to remove a number of second drivers from the main series. So these 3 drivers below are the ones that are currently affected and are currently under threat of being removed from the series when that time comes. The likes of Cam Wright Jr., I don't know. Keep forgetting whose name is which. Cam Wright Jr. we'll say for now. Run by Cam Wright. Ray Ayanami, run by Tari Lowell. And Billy Joe, the new driver, have just been announced as a driver for the season, run by Kendrick Meeks. So there's another part on this on this category, future second drivers, is that the following drivers could be given a waiver on based on them being family members of the members of the series, as that they have no Discord, but still want to represent themselves in the series at least. And those drivers below, with the likes of Albert Struss, run by Richard Petty Jr., Riley Hill, run by Leland Hill, and Sally Appleseed, run by Johns, aka John Appleseed. Those 3 drivers, I am likely going to give them a waiver for them to continue in the main series if they wish to have them in the series. And as well as the following driver, we have LaForge Henry. LaForge Henry is currently the only driver run by member Dad of the Year, despite the fact that this is basically more of a fictional driver rather than a driver representing himself. So if Dad of the Year agrees, he will also have an opportunity to continue using LaForge Henry for the main series. However, it is mainly recommended in the future that he changes to a driver that he can represent himself off. So that over the year does have an option mainly to whether to have her or not. We go to part 3 of, well, not part 3, but this is basically blending in from the second drivers should they not make it to the main series. There are possibilities of new series expanding in the near future. For any second drivers that would not make it to the main series, there are plans of a potential fantasy series in the near future, which will mainly feature only fictional drivers. So any driver can make up fictional drivers, and then have them on the series if they like. There may also be another series of a second lower tier series for up and coming drivers and drivers that have been left without a seat for the main series, basically because of space and such, or having to limit the drivers and such. So in this cause, I will be looking at asking volunteers if they're willing to help run series alongside me.
I don't know.
All right, I shall stop there for a moment because I just want to ask anyone's opinions that I've done in the last few slides.
I love that. I think it's good. I mean, Leland already kind of has a second series that he sort of is running, or like it's just starting truck series. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, Leland Hill, yeah, if Leland Hill can, he can get in contact with me privately, and then we can arrange, something, that we can help both run series together at least. So yeah, that'll be helpful at least to keep the show, at least to keep the series running, at least, in case if anything happens, then at least we'll have another series. If one series goes on hiatus for whatever reason, then there'll also be another series, hopefully, to at least continue to at least keep the group running. So yeah. And also it'll help to at least bring some more opportunities to not just more drivers, but also drivers that have not made it. We want to at least give any driver that are part of the group a seat at least. We want to make sure no driver is left without a seat. So yeah, that's it. Oh, speaking of which, this is something I've not mentioned on slide, but this is something that I've already mentioned earlier on in the Discord, that there is a possibility, of course, of a extended off-season break based on my plans to have my computer under repair. Unfortunately, at the moment, my computer is sometimes prone to having automatic shutdowns, so I am in need to take it in for repair, which will obviously mean that a long break is necessary if that does happen. So yeah, I am looking at possibly having an extended off-season break, maybe at the end of either season 2 or maybe season 3, or whenever I feel like it. But obviously that will depend on how the popularity rises in the series, and whether if there's any way of, like as I mentioned, we want to keep the series as live as possible, because we don't want to have a series go on hiatus and ended up with no drivers competing in the series, which is why that's why I'm asking volunteers if they want to run series with me, which is in the case of Leland Hill. So yeah, exactly. So if we get to that point, then hopefully it'll be a good time for me to start announcing that the main series will go on hiatus for an off-season extended break. So yeah. Let's see how this will progress from there. So without further ado, that brings the end of the presentation, and yeah, I hope everyone who is watching the stream at least have their own opinions from there. Of course, with Jerry Chen and Leland Hill, who are also here to give their first opinion live on voice. And yeah, we've gone for the whole presentation. Of course, I'm not perfect in presenting and speaking wise to in regards to the plans, but yeah, I've shown all the plans I've done. Don't know if there's any more. I don't think there's any more. Well, in that case, without further ado, I shall start to end the stream, and then hopefully I shall start making more arrangements of how the season 2 will start, etc., and then we'll go from there. So
awesome.
Yeah, awesome. So
I have to head out, but
no problem.
Awesome.
That's fine, no problem. Yeah, we're just about to end the stream now. So without further ado, we shall end the stream. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you there on the track. Hopefully within the next week or so. Take care and ciao.
Cool.